Hey, hello leaders, and welcome to episode number 350 of Run to Your Leadership Challenges. And all I could say is I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. This is my 350th episode. It's unbelievable. I can't even imagine that. And when I started this, it was just, I didn't know what I was doing. And you know what? I'm still trying to figure this out. Obviously, the YouTube videos are rough, but you know what? These are me. This is the whole me. I don't ever hardly wear a suit and a tie. That's just not me. But I love leadership. And I love the good days of leadership and I love the bad days of leadership. And some days, the good day is the bad day because they can be the same. And I'm going to explain that on today's episode. So this is the video version of my daily podcast. The video version is a little bit longer because I give you a little extra value in the beginning. I talk to you a little bit more and I give you a little bit extra value at the end. So right now in the middle is where I record, and you're going to see all my mistakes and double takes and just my retakes, I guess. And I don't edit them out. I just leave them in there. So you'll see what goes into my 2 or 3 minutes worth of daily podcast, because I'll edit the podcast down and make it nice and clean. But the video version, you get me, all right? I try to follow an outline script here. And the more away from the script I get, the more natural it is. However, I seem to go on and on a little bit. So here I am, been almost talking 2 minutes, and I really haven't said a whole lot. So I'm going to hit the record button, and we are going to be recording. Here we go. Hello, leaders, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. Well, today is a very special day because today is my 350th episode. Man, I can't even imagine that when I first started this over a year ago that I would enjoy doing these so much. And, I'm still figuring it out, but I just love making these podcasts and the videos on YouTube every day. And if you're not watching the YouTube videos, you're not alone, because I don't think anybody's viewed them. But you know what? I'm going to keep putting them out there because the YouTube videos are really me. You get a little bit of extra in the beginning and a little bit of extra value at the end. They're a little bit longer. I don't edit the YouTube videos, but this is my 350th episode. So I'm going to switch things off. So I'm going to switch things up a little bit today, and I'm going to go off the trail a little bit, because today, to kind of celebrate my 350th episode, I want to share with you my best day that I ever had while I was serving in the U.S. Air Force. And the strange thing is, however, is my best day was also the worst day in my career in the U.S. Air Force. And I want to explain that to you just a little bit. So the day was April 20th, 1995, and I was stationed at Tinker Air Force Base in just outside of Oklahoma City. And if you know history, you automatically know that was the day after the Murrah building in Oklahoma City was bombed by Timothy McVeigh. And so the day after that bombing occurred, I got to work. I lived right outside of the base. So the lines to get on base that day were ridiculously long. I happened to know a couple little back streets, and I got in, and I was one of the first ones to show up at work. And they were, shortly after I got there, we were all talking about the bombing, of course, and the long lines and all the security and how nothing's going to be the same. Things changed in an instant on April 19th that day. And so they passed around a volunteer list of people who wanted to volunteer and go help out down at the bomb site. And I put my name on the list. Didn't even have to think twice about it. Well, about an hour later, I was on my way down, sitting in a bus on my way down to the bomb site down in Oklahoma City. And you know, as the day played out, when we first got down there, I hooked up with 3 other Air Force people, and we were a team of 4. And at first, we checked into the post office, which was kind of catty corner from the Murrah building. And so after I checked in, they put us on a detail just walking up and down the streets and just marking any kind of evidence that we may have found. So after about doing that an hour, they said they needed four people to go to kind of pair up with this team of Tulsa firemen, and we were going to actually go in the building and start digging through the rubble. So the 4 of us, Air Force people, we paired up with this, I think it was either 12 or 16. I think it was 12 Tulsa firemen, because there was 16 of us total. We went into the building and we got safety briefings going in, because at this point there was a lot of big slabs of concrete hanging down. Well, it was about noon, I guess, and we spent about the next 14 hours digging through the rubble. And our adrenaline was going so high that we probably would have dug all night. Finally, a crew came to us and said, hey, you guys have been in there a long time. It's time for you to be relieved, and we're going to relieve you. And at this point, we were still looking for survivors, but we went to kind of like this bucket chain gang where we were actually picking up rubble, pieces of concrete and rubble by hand, and filling these concrete buckets and passing them down the line. And you know, if we ever found anything that resembled a body part, we would have to stop, and the people with the white suits would come in and they would inspect around that area. And, you know, it was my best day, because every time we came out of that building where the white suits would go in and look, the love and support of the people around Oklahoma City and all that area was just tremendous. So it was my best day, because there's no other day in my Air Force career where I felt like I served more than I served American people that day, right here on American soil. And it was my worst for obvious reasons, all right? We spent most of the day digging in the area where the child care center was and the daycare center in the building. And we saw some pretty bad things, you know, and it was tough to digest at times. But why I'm saying this is that day, I felt like I really served not only the team members right around me, but I felt like I served fellow Americans and the people of Oklahoma. And not just the people of Oklahoma, because this was a national event. And I felt like I really stepped up and served other people on that day. And of course, it was my worst because of the tragedy that we were dealing with. But I just wanted to bring this to you and give you a little bit of different show today, and just tell you that, hey, I am proud and I'm honored to have you as listeners on my show. And I hope just keep listening, please. And if there's any challenges that you ever want me to discuss or ever want me to talk about, you know, I've kind of got a theme throughout the week usually, but I'm here for you. I make this show for you. So any challenge that you have is not too big or too small, and I would love to tackle it. And if it's a challenge that goes a couple weeks or a month, hey, bring it on. Maybe I'll do a week, a month or something on that. But please feel free to email me at Paul Grau, that's PaulGrau, at currentleadershipcoaching.com. And I would be more than happy to build a relationship with you, email you back and forth. I'm here for you. I'm here to help. So that's all I had to say today. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you so much. And if you want to, check out the YouTube video, and I'll share a little bit extra value on there now. And until next time, run to your challenges. All right, so there's the video version, and I have to go. So I'm gonna provide just a little bit of extra value. Just because you're having a really good day at work and a really good day leading your people, don't always assume that everybody on your team is having a great day, because you don't know what people are thinking about. You might be having a great day, your business might be having a great day, your organization might be having a great day, and one of your team members might be having the worst day of their life. So just the more you get to know your people, the more that they'll be willing to come to you and talk to you about stuff like that. Hey, thanks for listening. Man, I love you. And if you're leading, lead well out there. And as always, let me know what your challenges are, because I want to help. I want to talk about them. All right? I'm here for you. Run to your challenges. We'll see you.